Hello, this is Sean from Childbite, and I'm blowing it up on Capital Chaos TV.
You are number 666.
This is Zoran Theodorovich with Capital Chaos TV, and I have Sean from Childbite to the right of me. How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Welcome back to Sacramento.
All right. Happy to be back.
And, you've been here before?
I believe so. We were here with Superjoint and King Parrot. And was that with Devil Driver last year?
I believe so. That was a tour.
Battlecross. We did a couple tours with Superjoint last year, so they all kind of blended together, but I'm not totally sure. But
Were you on the tour with Devil Driver as well?
we were on that one, yeah. So Cane Hill was also on that tour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was a strange bill. It was a weird sandwich of bands.
Cane Hill are a newer band, younger band.
Younger, yeah, totally. Yep.
Do you get to play with much of the new younger bands?
I mean,
To some degree, you're a new, not quite younger band.
yeah, I mean, I guess, I think in the eyes of many we're young because they just don't know who we are. But we've been kicking it around for about 10 years, so.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Hootie and the Blowfish had been together for at least a decade before they hit. So they were.
I'm ready to take the next step in the Hootie and the Blowfish evolution of our band. I'm hoping that's coming next.
And you guys are all natives of Detroit, Michigan?
Yep, the surrounding areas, but yeah.
And, how do you like Detroit? How do you like Michigan?
I love Detroit. It's amazing. I've traveled enough, and it's always exciting to travel, but I never feel like leaving the metro Detroit area or whatever. So,
What is it about Detroit that you like?
it's pretty eccentric. It's pretty strange. I like that the music scene there is sort of all over the map. It's not really like one type of bands. There's a lot of cross-pollination between different scenes, and it's pretty like raw. It's pretty kind of open-ended. A lot of people just kind of making shit happen on their own, so it's cool.
And obviously the audiences over there are open to eclecticism.
Yeah, sure. I wish there were bigger audiences in Detroit. There's definitely a lot of people creating music and not as many people just supporting it. But yeah, I mean, we've never felt ostracized for what we're doing. We're usually doing something that's maybe a little more on the fringe, or try to at least be unique. So.
I know that it can be hard to find audiences that are open enough to go with the whole twists and turns, because many people just want salt or they want pepper. They don't want 31 flavors.
No, 100%. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely not a band that is has a broad, appeal or whatever. So we try to just roll with anyone and find the weirdos in all of those other audiences, that can make up an actual Childbite fan base.
And now you're on tour with Phil Anselmo and the Illegals, and they're doing a 50-50 Pantera set. Is that right?
Basically. They've been just at the end of the East Coast run, they started sprinkling in some Pantera songs, and they've been greased up a couple more on the break before this West Coast run, and they're doing like a 50-50 kind of style thing. So it's been really awesome. They're crushing it, man. They sound great.
The other Sean has actually got up on stage and sang a song.
Yeah, I don't sing, so he gets up there and does. He's done Broken with Phil a couple times.
Wow.
Yeah, man, that's pretty good.
Must take you back, huh?
It does take me back, but it's great. It's great to hear those riffs again, and it's great to hear Phil sing those songs again. So.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's great, and it's definitely it's done with love. It's a tribute, and it's all about just showing some love to those songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're great songs. Why let them just twist in the wind? Or
Yeah, right. Totally.
And your latest release is an anthology of 28 tracks of released and unreleased stuff.
Right. We had some members quit last year, the band, and this was sort of like a wrap up some loose ends. Got a bunch of unreleased demos and then a bunch of vinyl only songs we just compiled onto a CD, double CD. Right. So just kind of like, hey, that's where that is over now, and this is the last sort of tomb of that era. And then we're gonna start writing new songs with our new guitar player Jeremy. So
Was it hard to stop at 28 tracks?
no, I mean that was the literal end point. That was actual. That was it. There was no other songs that we got them all, put them on, and let it out there. So.
I guess it's a sort of a goodbye to the past. There's no point in doing a music video to that.
No, I mean also music videos are expensive, and so. We're trying to save up our cheese and invest it into whatever the new record will be. Spend money on that stuff.
Is there even a reason? Everybody has a video camera in their pocket.
Right.
Is there even a need for a music video anymore?
Well, I think there is a good need for it. I mean, people are consuming videos on the internet every second of every day. You know what I mean? They got it. They want it. So, it might only be 3 minutes of someone's life, but it has value. People can appreciate the artwork, and it's just another way to absorb music and the onslaught of everything media. Yeah.
And what makes a good Child Bite song? What nowadays you have it's a newer sort of incarnation, not quite a newer incarnation. It's just now that you lost a few members, is there a new secret sauce, secret recipe for Child Bite?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. We kind of usually just get into a room and stare at each other awkwardly until we make something happen. And generally, we've always sort of had the rule that Sean Knight, our singer, is, he's generally known to be pretty charismatic and has a unique vocal style, and it's sort of like whatever we end up doing underneath that, as long as he's barking on top of it, usually ends up feeling like Child Bite. So,
How do you feel about the current state of the United States and or your home? And have you ever had any run-ins with Antifa or the Proud Boys?
I personally have not. I'm not overly excited about the state of affairs in America today. It's a little disheartening. I don't like all the nationalism. I don't like all of the ideas that aren't supported by more open and loving concepts. You know what I mean? I can't speak to specific political things, but as a general sense of being a person and the way humans treat each other, I'd rather it be more on the positive side than on the negative side.
Is there any social or political leanings in any of your lyrics or any of the stances that the band might take?
I mean, we're definitely all liberal people, pretty liberal people. I can't speak to the actual lyrics of the songs. I don't write them. I don't think Sean's written any specifically politically motivated songs. It's mostly either fantasy strangeness, that's sort of, abstractness, or it's weird poetic ways of dealing with just regular day-to-day life stuff, so.
Are you at all offended by terms like libtard or snowflake?
I don't get offended by that stuff because I don't think it's real. So
And have you set and achieved any of goals or any levels of success for Child Bite? Was there any 5-year plan or 5-minute plan?
I mean, the overall plan is to exist and to always be doing more interesting things and try to poke our heads above the glass ceiling as much as we can, as far as being an underground band. It's hard. It's a lot of sacrifice. So it's, yeah, I mean, I feel good about what we've accomplished over the last couple of years and just trying to keep the momentum going and do it as long as our bodies and minds will physically put up with it. 'Cause it's stressful, but fun. And I don't really know what else to do with my life, so.
Oh, you're not educated, or do you look like you're in pretty good shape. You work out?
I don't work out. I am educated, but I just don't really, music is the only thing that ever really spoke to me.
Ah,
so.
okay. You're calling. Sure.
Yeah.
What are the band names that were considered? And how would you best describe your sound?
For Child Bite? I don't remember. Although I've been in the band for almost 11 years, there was a single year before that where I was not in the band. So the band name did not come from my input or whatever. So I don't remember any other band names that were considered. I know that the process was done democratically. It was like a list of bands, and then everyone got to vote, and they had friends of theirs offering up names, and all they got to vote on it, and they picked the one that kind of got the most votes or whatever, and Child Bite was it. So.
The Child Bite sound can it be described in words?
Generally, yes. Notable words that have been used are noise rock or eccentric punk, or people think that we're a metal band, and I don't really think that we're a metal band, but there are tendencies, there's influences there, but we're sort of like loud, heavy, kind of fast, dissonant. Those words work,
Very cool. And, what music takes you back, and where does it take you back to?
What music takes me back? I think I have a lot of strong, nostalgic feelings towards Cyndi Lauper and Cat Stevens. That was a lot of stuff that was played when I was a kid, and I was a really big Monkees fan when I was a kid. I was super into the Monkees, so that kind of stuff,
Very cool. Does it get you? Some music just stops me, and takes me there, and sort of warm, gushy feeling. and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would say stuff like that. Just from childhood, specifically, if that kind of feeling is what you're asking about, then yeah,
I was just watching For Your Eyes Only, a James Bond movie.
Okay.
The opening song, I used to hear that when I was a kid all the time.
Right,
It sort of
okay,
just
yeah.
took me to my parents' house or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing that music does that for us.
Great. Yeah, no, super. That's why I'm into music.
Absolutely.
Those kind of connections can be made.
Cool. And so you guys are the tour is about to come. A few more dates on this tour, and then you're just gonna. Will you be making another album soon? Because
Hopefully.
this last release wasn't really an album.
That stuff was already recorded. It already happened, so we just collected it into an easy to digest thing. But no, the idea is that we don't have a permanent drummer right now, so we're gonna try to write with some buddies at home just to help us get the ball rolling and work on new songs with our new guitar player, and hopefully sometime by the late winter, spring, we can record a record.
Excellent. Well, Thank you for your time. This is Zoran Teodorovich with Capital Chaos. We got Sean with Child Bite, and I hope you enjoyed our little chat.